Hi, my name is Joe, and I want to thank you for joining me today. And I'd like to first start off by sharing a little bit about me. In a few months, I'll be turning 60. And for my entire life, I've been a mouth breather. I inherited it, I would assume, from my father, who also snored like I do, had sleep apnea like I do, and had sinus issues. So I met people and they seemed to be shocked because I seemed to be in decent shape. Well, the reason that I do is I wanted to work out. I wanted to work out because when I remember my dad, and what's really key is when he turned 60, we had a birthday party for him. And in order to be with his family and enjoy himself, he had to cart along an oxygen tank. Now, Dad was not a smoker. He never was. He had hay fever, as he'd call it. He was 2 inches shorter than I was. He was 6 foot. He was about 240, 230 or so. Maybe got up to 240 at once in life, but for the most part, he hovered around 225, 230. So for me, I'm 6'2" and right at 185, 190. And part of the reason that I've been actually losing some weight is because I've changed my breathing style. And the reason I changed my breathing habits from being a mouth breather to a nose breather, even though I had a deviated septum and I had allergies and I had a whole host of things that I just figured that I just didn't even know that there was a difference. I was able to breathe, I breathed, and I did what I needed to do. I guess looking back on it, I wondered why some people were able to run faster, run longer, bike further, sing longer notes. It's because they were able to breathe through their nose. And it all came full circle to my attention with what happened with the pandemic. And we've all been through it, and hopefully we're on the other end and getting better. But what it proved to me is I needed to learn how to breathe. And why I needed to learn how to breathe was because I didn't want to give one of my loved ones or someone I knew the virus. So I needed to wear a mask when I was around them. So I'd social distance so I wouldn't have to wear it. I wouldn't go out as much so I wouldn't have to wear the mask. But the truth was the mask was uncomfortable. You're breathing all this hot air, it'd steam up your glasses. It was just, as many of you know, especially if you're a mouth breather, it's no fun. But my question has always been why? Why could doctors and nurses wear it for hours on hours at a time? What did they know that I didn't know? So one day it just dawned on me, I've got to figure out how to change. So I closed my mouth. I was hungry for oxygen. My body needed it. So the oxygen found its way in through my sinuses, mainly my right sinus because my left sinus was really tiny. And all of a sudden I could breathe deeper from, instead of here with my mouth, down here and down into my belly and down into my diaphragm with this little bit of air that was coming in through this little cavity in my nose. I knew that I was onto something. I knew I had to continue to fight for that air, to work for that. It wasn't going to cost me anything. A minute a day in the morning, a minute every once in a while if I was stressed. So all I did, and all you need to do, is close your mouth and breathe. I try to breathe out through my nose too to kind of continue to force that air in and out. It works. If I have to work on this side, I have to plug this side and my mouth. It's harder, but it's opening. The allergies have gotten better. The deviated septum I had fixed long ago, but it still didn't help me breathe. I just needed to get the air in. And so that's what I did. So I invite you to join me, whether you're in your bed and can't get out, whether you're in a chair and have a hard time moving around. It costs you nothing to practice your breath work, to breathe through your nose. You'll still have your mouth. You can always open it if you need to. If you feel lightheaded or dizzy, by all means, get that oxygen into your system. If you're in your garden, sitting in a garden, on a river trip, paddling in a canoe, just breathe. If you're in your car and you're stressed, if you're anxious, if you're angry because somebody cut you off, shut your mouth and breathe. It's calming. It heals the body. It helps us. I'm getting different muscles in my face. I'm getting less of this around my throat. So many different things I don't even know yet, but I invite you to join me on my journey. Flow with Joe. Shut your mouth and breathe. Let me know how it works for you, okay? I'm excited for you. Have a wonderful day, and remember, just breathe.